back.
Yeah, you need to go slow, guys, by the way. I think I need to do this corner probably, maybe.
Let's back up on these rocks a little bit.
And then get straightened while they turn. Today my family is coming to help work on our house. This day turned out differently than I thought it would. In some ways it was less productive, but in other ways it was more productive because some of the jobs we ended up doing were bigger than I thought they were. And one job rose to the top and became, in retrospect, probably the most important thing that we could have done. Water. I would prefer to not have any wood real soaking. So your goal is to evenly wet this everywhere. The lid's not on. There we go. Tighten. You pump right here. Up and down, pumping. And then there's a little gap this goes in. It's right here. And you lock it in. Your job is to wet this chimney everywhere, but I don't want a bunch of wet wood. Okay? We're going to do multiple coats. I want to soak all this mortar because we're going to peel a bunch, we're going to chip a bunch of it out. And if it's wet, it won't be such a respiratory nasty problem. Okay? This looks like this is actually concrete here. We may keep some of that. This stuff up here is mud. Just literally mud mortar. It's like they used concrete and then they ran out of cement. This was built like 100 years ago. There literally weren't even highways. It was like just dirt roads up here. And trucks. They may have hauled this up here literally with a mule. Or it could have come up on a truck. But most people didn't even own cars when they built this. So they ran out of concrete. They literally switched. This is literally mud from the land. So we want to soak all that mud so when we chip some of it out, we're not going to be breathing all the dust, okay? A lot of little stuff, but the biggest main thing I would love to work on, if we can pull it off without getting too much dust, is chipping a significant portion of this stuff out and then shoveling it out of here. And then after that, we need to like brush it as clean as possible. It's a family work day. My family's coming out. It's kind of half and half to hang out and see each other. Thank you so much, buddy. Tool delivered. And it's half to get stuff done on our house. We're gonna do some hanging out and knock out some some jobs I didn't want to do alone. We're gonna move a giant cast iron bathtub. It's just huge. If you've never moved a cast iron bathtub, it's you don't want to, but it has to be out of here. I'm not gonna make it underground the whole time. I'm gonna be riding on it.
Just close your jump and then pop the floor.
But I probably need it.
Well, if you get convinced you want to do it on the way down, just yell break it, and then everyone just throw it down.
Okay. But I'm not gonna break it because then I'll have to move one like this from someone else's place. If we have to drop it though, say 1, 2, 3 drop, and everyone like
Jump.
Everyone jump. Emergency yell drop is left again.
Great.
There you go.
We have a plan A and an emergency plan. This is awesome.
I like it. Oh yeah.
And everyone gets stressed. can barely pass through this door alone. Get through.
Alright, I'm gonna let go of Arthur.
Okay. Yeah, you need to go slow, guys. I think I need to do this corner probably, maybe. And then get straightened while they turn.
You can straighten your arms out, then I can lift
Yeah,
a lot
lower.
more.
Someone else will mine.
There we go, goodness.
Is everyone doing okay?
I think pausing at some point would be a good thing.
Okay.
My biceps are
You want to set it down?
Let's sit. Like this. Yeah, we're gonna keep going to your right, and we're okay. Good. Let's put it here for now. Thanks for getting the block short. So we're turning away from this job right now. We were chipping the clay mortar out of here. It's looking like it's going to cause too much destruction if we actually pull it out. The clay mortar is structural. It's between those stones, and I wanted to remove just a little bit, kind of like this, so we could plaster it. But I think I'm just going to wrap the whole thing in metal and plaster over it, like stucco over it. Okay, this next little thing, so as you can tell, we're kind of doing a bunch of miscellaneous jobs and then some heavy lifts. This next thing is something that Brianna has asked for like 15 times, and she's really, really, really excited that it's actually happening today. So we're gonna just knock that out right now. This one right over here.
This round one.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is this
What's that?
table was in grandparents' house out west, and the interesting thing is they actually purchased it just down the road from us here, where they make a bunch of furniture.
They put it in chairs and they want to come see that.
So it traveled to them and then it traveled back. So, tell me why we're moving tables.
Oh, because I want my kitchen table back. And there's plenty of space in there for it. We're going to put both leaves in it. It's going to be huge. It's going to be beautiful. I'm going to have a tablecloth again. I'm going to have candles. We're all going to sit around it without being squished. It's going to be glorious. That's why we're doing it. I never brought it up here before because this table up here is massively heavy, but Arthur has a lot of brothers, and they're going to move this table today. And they're all strong.
So this is the beautiful table we're replacing. It's just about, it's over 5 feet tall. It's about, no, it's not quite. It's almost 5 feet tall and it's too high. If you all have anything nasty you want to say to Christopher, he'll probably edit this video, so you can just yell at the camera anytime it's
I hope he cuts it out.
Christopher, we carried a 500-pound cast iron bathtub.
And they didn't need you either.
And we did.
We did. Oh, okay. You mean you dropped it on your foot
Yeah.
and broke your foot? It's Christopher's fault.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to go that far, but
Now that you've said it.
I'm not sure what meal this is, but it's happening right now. It's been fun and tasty.
Quite fun.
Alright, let's ride. We're pulling nails out of walls
It's a tedious job. It would take me hours and hours, but with all these people, it's going really fast. So we've turned our attention away from the chimney. We've turned our attention to pulling nails. This job turned out way bigger than I thought it was. I figured, you know, just like an hour or two, all the nails are out, but all of us spent like 2 hours on it. So that means that we put in about 12 hours of work. Actually, we spent more than 2 hours, so it was more than 12 hours of work, which is honestly and unfortunately, that's at least 2 days of work for me down there with how my schedule is right now. So we actually got this huge monotonous job done together, pulling nails one after another, thousands of nails from the exterior walls and the walls we're gonna keep. You're staying down while I'm up. While we were pulling nails, I had this idea. I've had it for a while, but I thought, hey, while we're working in the house, why don't we go up on the roof and take the cap off the chimney, and maybe we can start a fire in this fireplace. This would be the first fire in this fireplace. My guess is probably for at least 50 years, maybe more. This fireplace is 100 years old. And the people in this house used to sit around it. They used to do all their cooking around it and over the fire. And I thought, why don't we do that tonight? Having a fire in this fireplace is both a very amazing, happy experience, but it's also kind of heartbreaking because it's taken me really far too long to get this house project done, and it's taken a toll on my family. I hope to tell the complete story of why it's taken so long and the struggles that I and we have had that I haven't been able to tell on YouTube someday. But for right now, I'm going to focus in on how cool it was to have a fire in this fireplace. Like I said, it's probably been at least 50 years since there's been a fire here, and it just made me think, wow, this is going to be our home. And while the kids probably saw it as just a profoundly fun experience, it was sad for me at the same time because I haven't given that home to my family yet. Some good progress.
Yeah.
I think we got them out all around.
Nice, that's great.
On all the walls, most of the high. It should be all the high and low ones all the way around. I mean, I'm sure we missed some, like 100, but we got a couple thousand.
Or more.
There's a lot of them.
We got Brianna her table, and while I haven't been able to get her forever home back yet, and I will, I think that getting her table became the most important thing we did that day. It involved lifting an extremely heavy, very high bar table out of the house, which was it's not ideal to sit at a bar table with a bunch of kids. They fall out of chairs, it's way too high, and it wasn't quite big enough for all of us to get around. Now we have our table, Brianna's table, and we can gather around it. We can celebrate Christmas, we can have family meals, and for all the work we got done on this family work day, I think that I'm most happy that we got Bri her table. It's something she's been asking for, and it is just gonna help her to feel like our meal times, our family times, every single day as we keep putting one foot in front of the other on this life that we've chosen. Okay guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in a video soon. This was a great family work day. Bye.